Imagine walking into a quiet home on a freezing December morning, only to stumble upon a nightmare that would haunt you forever. Blood everywhere, a body battered beyond recognition, strangled, assaulted, left like discarded trash. This wasn't just any victim. She was a beloved teacher, snatched from life days before Christmas. For 26 years, her killer walked free, smiling in the same town he terrorized. But one tiny clue, a chewed piece of gum, cracked it wide open. How did a local hero hide as a monster? Stick around. This DNA breakthrough rewrites justice. In the DNA era of cold cases, stories like this prove no secret stays buried forever. Christy Mirak was the heart of her classroom, inspiring kids with her infectious laugh and unshakable dedication. But on December 21st, 1992, she vanished from her routine. Her principal, sensing trouble, drove over, and what he found shattered everything. The scene was carnage, furniture overturned, her half-naked body on the floor, neck bruised from ruthless hands. Who could do this to someone so kind? The answer hid in plain sight, taunting investigators for decades. She was supposed to be in her classroom that morning, shaping young minds with her endless patience and bright smile. But Christy Mirak never made it to Rorastown Elementary. Instead, her principal found her lifeless body in a home that looked like a war zone. Blood smeared across the carpet, a wooden cutting board and toaster used as weapons, signs of a savage struggle. She'd been sexually assaulted, then strangled until the light left her eyes. Just 25 years old, days from Christmas. Who walks into a teacher's home and unleashes hell like that? In the DNA era, we now know monsters can hide behind familiar faces. Born in 1967 in the tight-knit town of Shamokin, Pennsylvania, Christy grew up as the spark in her family, stubborn, kind, always playing teacher to her siblings. That dream never faded. She earned her education degree, moved to Lancaster County, and became the kind of sixth-grade teacher kids never forget, punctual to a fault, loved by everyone. Her life was steady, predictable, until that brutal Monday morning when a predator slipped through her front door. The question that haunted investigators for decades: how did no one see him coming? The scream pierced the freezing air just after 7:15 a.m. Two women chatting outside heard it, sharp, terrified, coming from Christy's condo. They paused, unsure. After all, Christy should have left for work soon. They brushed it off. That scream was her last. Minutes later, her roommate gone, Christy alone, the killer struck. He didn't break in. The door showed no forced entry. She knew him, or did he catch her off guard? Scratches on the floor told the story of her fight for life as he dragged her from the entrance to the living room. This is where modern forensics finally caught up with evil. Police arrived to a nightmare. Christy half-nude, sweater pushed up, deep bruises circling her neck. Bodily fluids on the carpet, her clothes, evidence collected and sent to the lab. In 1992, DNA technology was brand new, the national database tiny. The profile they pulled belonged to an unknown male. No match. A ghost. While that ghost walked free, Christy's family drove 2 agonizing hours to Lancaster, told only she'd been in an accident. When they arrived, the truth crushed them. Murder. Her mother reached out to touch her one last time, but was stopped. She was evidence now. Could you imagine that pain? The first suspect was the man who found her, Principal Harry Goodman. He'd called her home 5 times, then driven over himself. Too caring. Detectives thought so. They grilled him hard. Ever touch her? Find her attractive? Harry admitted she was beautiful, but insisted nothing more. He took a polygraph, passed. Fingerprints, alibi, everything cleared him. But the nightmares stayed. Next, an older married man showed up at the school asking for Christy, oblivious to the news. Daniel Didario, her secret boyfriend of 2 years. The family had no idea. He was almost 20 years older, married, moving to Virginia. His alibi? Time-stamped paperwork from a government office that morning. Polygraph passed. DNA no match. Cleared. In the DNA era, early suspects fall fast. But this killer was smarter. Neighbors reported a white car with black louvers parked nearby. A muscular white man with dark hair seen walking toward her home. Christy's mother fought cancer for years, the unsolved murder eating at her soul. Remission, relapse, hope, despair, always carrying the weight of not knowing who stole her daughter. In December 2002, 10 years after the killing, she lost the battle. On her deathbed, she made her son Vince promise one thing: never stop searching for justice. She died without a name, without closure. Vince kept that promise, calling detectives regularly, refusing to let Christy fade. These are the human costs cold cases leave behind. By 2007, the Mirak family teamed up with another grieving family, Linda Bittler, also murdered, case unsolved. Together, they funded a massive billboard on a busy Lancaster highway. Photos of both women staring down at drivers, the words, "Do you know who killed us?" Phone lines lit up again. New tips. Same dead ends. The community lived with quiet fear. The killer wasn't some drifter. He was one of them, attending weddings, working jobs, blending in. And for over 2 decades he did, just 4 miles from Christy's home, a popular DJ packing clubs on weekends. How did no one ever suspect him? Fast forward to 2015. A new district attorney, Christine Wilson, takes over the cold case unit. She was in high school when Christy died. This case haunted her career. She believed the 1992 DNA still held the answer. Detectives learned about Parabon nanolabs and their snapshot technology, predict a suspect's face, ancestry, eye color from DNA alone. They sent the old evidence. 2 years later, in 2017, aged-up composites were ready, showing what the killer might look like in his late 40s to 50s. Shown first to family and old acquaintances, no recognition. Then released to the public. Media blitz. Still nothing, but the DNA era was accelerating. In April 2018, the Golden State Killer was caught using genetic genealogy, uploading crime scene DNA to public database GED match, finding distant relatives, building family trees backward. Vince Mirak saw the news and immediately emailed investigators. Could this work for Christy? They were already on it. Parabon prepared the sample, uploaded it. Genealogist C.C. Moore took over. She found cousins, no direct hit, but enough to trace a family with Eastern European roots and a Puerto Rican connection through one branch. One name rose to the top, Raymond Charles Rowe. Local DJ known as DJ Freeze, the community celebrity. Was this really him? Raymond DJ Freeze Rowe had no criminal record, never in the system. At the time of the murder, he was 23 or 24, lived 4 miles away, spun records at the same clubs Christy sometimes visited. No known connection to her. For 26 years, he built a thriving career, weddings, nightclubs, beloved on the mic, smiling in the same town that mourned Christy. When the genealogy pointed to him, investigators were stunned. They needed fresh DNA to confirm, without alerting him. This is where undercover work met cutting-edge science. May 2018, Rowe booked to DJ an event at a local elementary school. Police sent a female undercover officer. She chatted him up casually, watched his every move. When he left, she dug through the trash. He'd tossed a water bottle, a cup, and chewed gum. Lab results came back, 100% match to the 1992 crime scene. The ghost had a face. June 25, 2018, detectives brought him in. He denied everything at first. Then they mentioned his old white Toyota Celica, matched the neighbor's description perfectly. His composure cracked. How would the community react when their favorite DJ was unmasked? Arrested for criminal homicide, Roe faced overwhelming evidence. January 2019, to avoid the death penalty, he pleaded guilty. Murder, sexual assault, burglary. Sentenced to life without parole, plus 120 years. No motive ever given, no remorse shown. The Mirak family finally had a name, an ending. But the shock rippled through Lancaster. The man who made their celebrations joyful had destroyed a young teacher. His life. The same hands that mixed beats had strangled Christy, yet the story wasn't over. November 2020, Roe filed for post-conviction relief, suddenly claiming innocence, said his lawyers pressured him into the plea while he was sick, stressed, losing weight in jail. New story, he'd had consensual sex with Christy hours earlier, then someone else killed her. He demanded retesting of the cutting board, toaster, clothes. Hearings in 2021, he sat stone-faced as his own words were dismantled. April 2022, judge denied everything. No new testing, no credible path to innocence. The DNA was ironclad. Life sentence stands. But why flip after pleading guilty? 26 years of torment ended because science refused to quit. From a fledgling 1992 database to public genealogy sites and discarded gum, justice evolved. Christy's brother Vince kept his promise to their mother. The billboard, the tips, the refusal to forget, all of it mattered. Lancaster healed a little, though the betrayal still stings. A man they cheered for was the monster they feared lived among them. This case became a blueprint in the DNA era. No record, no problem. Upload, trace relatives, narrow the tree, confirm with stealth. Dozens of cold cases have fallen since. Predators who thought time erased their crimes now look over their shoulders. Evidence doesn't forget. Families don't forget. And sometimes a single piece of trash is all it takes. Christy Mirak's voice was silenced in 1992. But in 2018, her DNA finally spoke the truth. No one could silence it again. Raymond Roe spins no more records. He spends his days in a Pennsylvania prison, life sentence etched in stone. The community that once danced to his mixes now whispers his name with disgust. Christy's classroom stories live on through the kids she taught and the family who fought for her. Her mother never saw justice, but she knew Vince wouldn't stop, and he didn't. If this story hit you hard, drop a like and subscribe. These solved cold cases remind us evil can hide, but truth has a longer reach than ever. Comment below, where are you watching from? Have you followed a case that broke open decades later? Hit the bell so you never miss the next one. Thank you for staying till the end. Christy's story traveled far because people like you refuse to let victims be forgotten. Stay safe out there and hold your loved ones close.